What is up, guys? This is going to be my review on WrestleMania 29. This just came out the other day. WrestleMania 29 on Blu-ray. And you know what this should have had on special features? I'm just going to say this. This should have had the Raw the next night, because that would have made it totally worth the extra cash for the Blu-ray. I'm not lying, because I mean, honestly, all you get with it when it comes to the Blu-ray is just like the promos leading up to WrestleMania, which is bullshit because nobody gave a fuck. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this. Let's start it off with Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show versus The Shield. And you know, this match wasn't that bad. It wasn't a bad match. It was just nothing great either. I mean, this was basically something you would see on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, it was a pretty basic match. And the whole time I was hoping, please let somebody turn heel, like Randy Orton. That's basically what I want. I wanted Randy Orton to turn heel, and of course he don't turn heel. But who does turn heel? Big Show. Who gave a fuck about the Big Show? We're tired of the Big Show. He is a boring heel. He's a boring face. It doesn't matter what he does. He's just boring. I respect the Big Show for what he's done, but god damn it, just go, man. Like, nobody gives a fuck. We wanted Randy Orton or somebody to turn heel, because Randy Orton has not been a heel, a full heel, since WrestleMania 25 when he faced Triple H. I mean, he had legacy, but you know, people were still cheering him. But my god, I mean, this match wasn't bad. I'm glad the Shield won. The Shield won the whole, you know, they won the match. The right people won, but the match didn't have any high spots or anything like that. So this match was basically a pretty disappointing match for an opener. Next you have Ryback versus Mark Henry. This should have opened up the show if they wanted to get the shit out of the way, because honestly this was the worst match of the night. This match was boring as fuck. Again, the right guy won. Mark Henry, he won the match, but you know, the crowd was so bored. I was fucking falling asleep. I remember watching this and I was falling asleep watching it. Watch it on DVD, guess what? I'm still falling a fucking asleep. That's how boring this match was. There was no high spots in this until the end of the match. This whole match was basically Mark Henry giving a bear hug. That's all this whole match was a bear hug. So these guys definitely did not have that chemistry between each other, and it was just a shitty fucking match. But Mark Henry did win, which I thought he should have, and at the end of the match, Ryback did pick up Mark Henry, carry him around. You know, that was pretty impressive, but again, who gives a fuck about this match? So, another shitty match. Next you have Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. This was another one of those matches that you could have seen on Raw. This was Biggie Langston's, debut match at WrestleMania, but he didn't really do anything. I mean, honestly, nobody done anything in this match that would make it stand out. Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston lose to Team Hell No, but I mean, nobody done anything. It was just a basic, very, very fucking basic match. Another disappointing match. And then you have Chris Jericho versus Fandango. Now, I've seen a lot of people on here say that they love this match or they hate it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was that special. You have Chris Jericho jobbing to Fandango, and Fandango basically got his ass kicked throughout this whole match. Got his ass kicked, and even when he was doing moves, people were like impressed. Like, even the commentators were like, I'm very impressed with him. No, he botched a lot of shit too. I'm not saying the wrestler's bad, but let him debut at WrestleMania, come on. Of course he's going to be fucking nervous. He's in front of like 80,000 plus people, and he botched a lot of stuff, and the ending was just trash. The ending was just terrible. So I would give this match, again, like maybe out of 5 stars, 2, if that. I don't know. And I can understand Chris Jericho losing, because he's there just to put over the young talent. But Fandango, this was just bullshit. They should let him have wrestling matches. I can understand that what they're going for here. It's like his debut match, he won at WrestleMania, but no, he didn't do anything to impress anybody. The only thing people know about him right now is his fucking theme song, and that's not because of the WWE, it's because of the Raw the next night that made him basically the crowd made him that next night. Now people fandango, but you know what? That's not going to last very long. So another disappointing match. Next you have Sean Diddy Combs with his musical performance. Who gave a fuck about this? I know I didn't, and I heard a lot of boos while he was doing this. So this whole this whole WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm drunk. But anyway, this is a drunken WrestleMania review. Just a shitty fucking WrestleMania. Next you have Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Another boring match. Jack Swagger did not even get a proper entrance. He got his entrance while we were watching the promo to this match, and then Alberto Del Rio comes out, and this match was pretty boring. Honestly, this match was very boring. Nobody gave a fuck about it. The crowd was dead. Everybody was just sitting there waiting on it to go on, and I mean, I'm sure that it was probably louder than what we see, but at the same time, I'm sure it was still pretty boring to other people because nobody gives a fuck about Del Rio as a face. He's boring as hell as a face, and Jack Swagger, he's just not going to cut it. He's just not going to cut it. If you have to have I'm sure a lot of people have to have a mouthpiece, but he's not even intense in the ring. So, okay, if you're not good on the mic and you have a mouthpiece and you're still not intense in the ring, then just give up. Give up on this guy. And I mean, we the people, okay, fuck you. Boring. Next we have the best match of the night, Undertaker versus CM Punk. Now this match was very good. This is the only reason I even bought the Blu-ray. This match was definitely candidate for match of the year. Definitely. A lot of good spots. The match told a good story in the ring. CM Punk was definitely, he was intimidating. Well, he was basically playing mind games with the Undertaker the whole time. He even wore the same, he wore the black and purple just like Undertaker did. So I think that was part, I don't know if a lot of people got that, but I think that was part of the mind games. And between the whole Paul Bearer stuff and just that he was slapping the Undertaker and saying just certain things in the ring, just a very good match. And this is very fast paced. Told a completely different story than the Triple H. Triple H the last 2 years, it definitely told a different story than what he did because it was much more fast paced. Because in the Triple H it was a lot slower paced, and actually I think the match was a lot longer than the Triple H matches, but I think this was just a lot more entertaining, honestly. I think this was just a much more intense match. It wasn't as many kickouts as I hoped for, but at the same time it doesn't matter. I mean, there was some good spots in it, especially the part where CM Punk got on the top rope. He jumped and hit Undertaker with the elbow drop, and I think, well, obviously the table was supposed to break, but it didn't. So he just elbowed him right in the chest, and it looked like he hurt like fuck. Just a fucking awesome match and a great ending. Very emotional. Great 5-star match. This definitely saved this WrestleMania. Next you have Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Again, this match was pretty good. Not as good as their SummerSlam match, I didn't think, but it was still a good match. It didn't tell as good of a story as the SummerSlam match because Brock Lesnar basically carried both matches, but in this one, I mean, he really fucking carried it. It was basically Brock Lesnar the whole fucking time. It was Brock Lesnar from the start to the finish and until the finish, but he basically kicked Triple H's ass all over the place. There was some good spots with some I want to say some German suplexes, but at the same time I thought he did way too many German suplexes in this match. But still, there was some good weapon use, of the stairs and chairs and things. But and I really liked the Kimura lock when he put the Kimura lock on Brock Lesnar, or I'm sorry, on Triple H, 3 times. He put it on 3 times, and he kept getting out of it. That was pretty nice. But at the end, you have a pedigree to the steps. That's basically what won Triple H the match. But, Triple H, I don't know. He's not as good as he used to be, but this was still entertaining. I still thought their match last year was much, much better. And I hope at Extreme Rules, I hope this is the end of this feud, because I'm getting pretty bored with it, honestly. Pretty boring feud now, because I really don't care. I mean, they're still doing some good stuff, but I can tell that people's just not as invested in it as they was last year. Let Brock Lesnar go and kick somebody else's ass if he's going to. But again, you know, this was a pretty decent match. And the main event, Rock versus Cena. I'll be honest with you, I thought last year's match was much better. Last year's match had, the crowd was definitely into it. You had a lot of spots where they were chanting, "You still got it," as if he ever lost it. You know, The Rock, he was doing like a small package that was pretty flashy, and you know, there was just a lot of good spots in it. This match here was basically, it was as if you're playing the WWE 13 game and you're sitting there taunting. You're sitting there taunting, and you're getting your fucking momentum up until you get a finisher, and you get a finisher and use your finisher, and then you basically go and pin them. That's basically what this match was. It was basically both of them doing counter after counter to finisher, doing like non-stop finishers. That's basically all this match was. It fucking sucked. And even the crowd, they were bored, like they were bored out of their fucking mind in this match. They didn't give a fuck about this. They were more invested in the CM Punk and the CM Punk and Undertaker match than they was with this. This shit shouldn't have been the main event. I mean, nobody cared. They knew, honestly, everybody knew Cena was going to win this match. Cena, I hate fucking Cena. Cena is a fucking piece of shit, but he's had some good matches in his day. Not because of him, it's basically who he's wrestling. But, I can't deny that he's not had any good matches. This match here was pretty boring, honestly. A lot of kickouts, as we expected. But I thought last year's match was much better. Definitely better paced, because there was more moves in the match. This match here was like 2 or 3 moves. It was basically their signature moves and then the finisher. That's all this whole match was. It's as if they forgot all their fucking moveset. As if, well, you know what? Cena probably used all his moves in this. He used all of his moves in this match, but he only has like 5 moves. But still, just the same, The Rock, I thought better of him. I thought he would use a lot more like DDTs, some suplexes or something, but he didn't. It's as if he forgot everything he knew in this match. I don't know. This was just a pretty disappointing match. I'm not going to say it was terrible, though, because honestly, it wasn't the worst match of the night, and I mean, it was still kind of entertaining, because there was some points where I was thinking, even though I thought John Cena was going to win, I was like, okay, well, maybe The Rock will win this. But, and then the bullshit at the end with the handshake, the crowd didn't like that. But this WrestleMania was pretty shitty, honestly. I know people say WrestleMania 9 was pretty shitty, and this is WrestleMania 29, but you know what? WrestleMania 29 is way shittier. I'm not lying, man. WrestleMania 9 had a lot of, even though it didn't have the good card or anything, there were still decent matches for what it was. WrestleMania 19 was one of the best WrestleManias, in my opinion, but this here, probably one of the worst, honestly. I don't know where I would put it, but it is definitely one of the lowest WrestleManias that I can think of. Just a shitty WrestleMania. There wasn't any high points at all, other than like, if you want to call the main events, like other than CM Punk and Undertaker, and then maybe Brock Lesnar and Triple H, I would say this would have been probably the worst WrestleMania of all time. Yeah, pretty shitty. Thank God for CM Punk and Undertaker, Triple H, and Brock Lesnar, because this honestly would be down there with WrestleMania 11. It'd be down there with, even though you people don't like WrestleMania 9, I like WrestleMania 9, but yeah, it would be down there with the lowest of low. And honestly, it still is, in my opinion, but yeah, it's not the worst, but it's up there. Or down there, I should say. But anyway, that's my review on this. That's my drunken review on this. You guys can probably tell. Drank quite a bit. So we get through this DVD. Anyway, that's my review, and I'll see you guys next time.